Hi, my name is Enrique Noriega, and today me and my team are going to talk about the fall of the Berlin Wall and our research questions about it. So now we're gonna go with Andrea Mesa, and she's gonna explain us and talk about the fall of the Berlin Wall and her research question. So enjoy, and I hope you like this documentary.
Hello, my name is Andrea Mesa, and the topic my team chose was the fall of the Berlin Wall. And the research question I'm going to be talking about is how did the fall of the Berlin Wall affect the identity and culture of Germany? Okay, so the fall of the Berlin Wall happened on November 9 of 1989. It marked the end of the Cold War and it ended the division between East and West Germany. So East and West Germany were very different one from another. Why? Because the West was a federal republic and the East was a democratic republic created by the Soviets. So they were used to very different economic, social, and political lifestyles, which was a challenge when reunification happened. Okay, so the first aspect I want to talk about reunification is the artists, is their impact of the artists. So from both sides, artists had the opportunity to share their experiences and their cultural backgrounds, which helped many people to feel identified and not alone, like they had someone who understand them and who felt the same way they did, and they started hearing the stories and seeing the art of the other side, which led to a better understanding of one another, and it gave us a very rich and diverse period, artistically, literally, and a social expression. So the reunification brought freedom and a better quality of life for some, but it also caused problems for people in East Germany who found themselves missing their way of life before reunification. So there was a specific term I researched for this question that is called nostalgia, that is the mix of two words, the word East and nostalgia. So this term expresses a feeling of longing and appreciation for specific aspects in their life in East Germany. So even though the life for people who lived in East Germany wasn't the best, it's still their home. It was still where they had been born or where they got married, where they started their family. After all, this division happened for more than 40 years. So pretty much the half the life of someone. So it was really important for them to show appreciation for this time of their lives. So it helped people to find other persons who felt the same way and to not feel alone, to feel like people understood you, and it created a very beautiful community that still makes a difference to this day. So as a conclusion, reunification brought both challenges and opportunities for both sides. They had to experience economic, cultural, and social differences that was very hard for both of them, but at the end, going through this process helped create modern Germany, that is a much better country that it started off as, and it is very important to still remember all the sacrifices these people had to make to get to where we are today. So nonetheless, the effects of this transformation still affects the country, like to this day. So I think it was very interesting to research about this, but it also left me a little bit sad thinking about the hard changes all these people had to go across just for a new country to be built. And I think they are very strong and admirable people. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Regina, and today I'm going to talk about what were the key political factors and international events that led to the fall of the Berlin Wall. Okay, so first, the Berlin Wall fell on November 9, 1989, marking the end of communist rule in Eastern Europe and the Cold War. The key reasons and the international events were Soviet reforms. Mikhail Gorbachev introduced glasnost and perestroika, promoting freedom and weakening control over Eastern Europe. No more Soviet military support. Gorbachev chose diplomacy over force, meaning communist governments like East Germany had to survive on their own, and obviously they struggled. Massive public protest. In East Germany, people organized a huge demonstration, like the Monday demonstrations in Leipzig, demanding freedom and democracy. Escape through Hungary. Hungary opened its border with Austria, and thousands of East Germans fled, putting even more pressure on East Germany. Western influence. The West, especially the US, supported freedom. Reagan said Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. That was his speech in 1987, and this symbolized Western pressure. Also, and last, there was a mistaken announcement on November 9. East Germany official Schabowski accidentally announced that borders were opened immediately, causing thousands to rush the wall, and guards let them through. Well, finally, we have my conclusion that the fall of the Berlin Wall was not one event, but the result of political reforms, public protest, Western influence, and a political mistake. It became a powerful symbol of freedom and the end of division in Europe. Well, that was everything. Thank you.
Today I'm gonna talk about my research of the fall of Berlin Wall in 1989. The wall symbolized the division between the Communist East and Capital West, and its fall marked the end of the Cold War and Germany's reunification. My research question was, what were the main political and economic factors that led the fall of the Berlin Wall? The first part. First, Gorbachev's reforms like glasnost and perestroika encouraged openness and change across Eastern Europe. Second, economic differences between East and West Germany made East Germans dissatisfied with their living conditions. Third, civil protest, especially in Leipzig, showed the people's demand for freedom and change. Also, the desire for economic prosperity pushed many East Germans to seek a better life, like in the West Germany. Finally, the weakening of Soviet control allowed Eastern nations to push for reforms without fear of military intervention. In conclusion, the wall fell because political reforms, economic frustration, civil protest, and the collapse of Soviet influence all come together. This project was challenging because it was hard to find information and summarize it, but it was a great experience. Thank you.
Okay, so that was Bruno Blanco, and thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it. So those were our research questions, and well, about the fall of the Berlin Wall. My name is Enrique Noriega, and thank you so much for watching this video.